Will he make the trip this weekend or no?
Most likely no.
And Dedmon, I know you guys coming in the season wanted him to shoot a little bit more, and it looks like it's going pretty good. I mean, it's been your impression with him?
Yeah, no, I'm really happy with Dewayne's ability to shoot, willingness to shoot. I mean, he's spending a lot of time working on it. I don't know his percentages off the top of my head, but just my gut feeling. And he and I talked about it. When something's new, you may have a little bit of a rocky start, but this is something we believe in, and we're going to keep pushing the envelope. If it gets to like 200 straight misses, we might stop. But it's going to take, no matter how he started, and I feel like he started really well.
Yeah.
But he may hit a rough patch or something. I think we want to just continue to push the envelope, continue to fight. And I'm really happy with how he's shooting it and how he's playing.
Yeah, I was going to ask you that. I mean, is that the cutoff, 200? I mean, what sample size are you looking for? You know what I mean?
No, and I mean, we even, semi-joked about I'm not going to put a number on it. I'm not going to. I want you to be prepared to space and shoot corner threes and just know I have a lot of confidence in you, and it's something that's important to us and us being successful. And I think most players are kind of excited about trying it and working on it and growing it and developing it. So he's been really good.
To the point yet where opponents are expecting it at all? Have you seen that yet, or?
It's hard. Yeah, it's hard for me to say. I mean, some great shooters get open corner threes. It's if you get pressure points on the defense at the right time, right spots, anybody could be open. But I'm sure they're not, thinking that Dewayne has done it a lot or has a history of doing it. And it's probably part of their thinking.
With Bays, we've seen him kind of as a secondary ball handler, making plays for other guys. How do you think that aspect of his game is growing?
Yeah, no, I feel like he's made a lot of assists, finding guys, and it's something that's still growing. There's sometimes when maybe he's a little anxious, trying to get to the basket or trying to make a play for a teammate or himself, and I think it's just going to continue to slow down for him. He's going to continue to see the whole court and get better and better. But I think it's important that we have a second guy, take a little bit of the pressure off of Dennis while he's on the court. And, having Isaiah, with that backup group's done that, and Malcolm playing a little bit of two-guard and Marco. So I think we develop, more guys that'll help the offense, and ultimately it'll help Dennis.
Bays, he's been drawing a lot of fouls. Do you think that's something that can continue to happen for him? He's an athletic guy, and he says he feels better physically this year.
Yeah, no, I think so. I think if he continues to be aggressive and attack going downhill and going to the basket, good things will happen to him as far as getting to the free throw line.
Coach, you mentioned, I was going to ask you, Rob, you guys are in almost every game. You're competing, but just not quite getting the results more often than not. Late. What are some things that it takes to get to that next level where you're getting the results you want?
Yeah, we talked a little bit about that today in film, and there's a focus and attention to detail that we want it from the very beginning of the game to the end of the game, and usually you have it at a pretty good level, and then it just goes to another level in the fourth quarter. And I think our attention to detail, our focus. We have to, train ourselves, and new guys maybe playing in those situations, playing in those moments, or guys with new and different roles. It's a learning process, and and it's just little things you see, and then sometimes you just got to make a shot, or you got to get a better bounce on a rebound, or things like that. There's so many little things that go into the end of the game. Some of them are in your control, and you just got to work to have great focus and great attention to detail with the things that you can control.
Several guys mentioned today's film session. What are some things that you kind of noticed that, or you wanted them to kind of notice? Beyond it's just like, there are any specific things maybe you can kind of share that you just want the guys to pick up on and do?
Well, I mean, our execution in the fourth quarter offensively needs to be a lot better. Our communication offensively needs to be a lot better. I think the positive is, I think the way we competed really for the whole game and including the fourth quarter, we watched a bunch of film today of where we're doing things really well defensively. We're really getting after it. A little bit of spacing things offensively from the beginning to the end of the game, how teams may be playing us or things that are trends, and how we can react better to those. So. Just a few more things, but that's enough for now.
Marco's been on the injury list pretty much, I think, from the beginning of the season. Is there progress in that, or is it just something that just kind of lingered? Or
I feel like I'm not hearing a whole lot about it anymore, so I think it's progress. I know he is still listed as probable, and I think there is still a little bit of the Achilles and just the soreness, but I thought he played really well against Boston, active, competing, really worked in his post defense. So I think, like I said, I'm just hearing less about it, so I'm assuming he's making progress.
Discuss Luke Babbitt, contributions he's made to the team, and seeing his role increase with your squad overall.
Yeah, Luke just adds that unique dynamic of just a knockdown three-point shooter that everybody's got to honor, everybody's got to respect. So it creates, I think, opportunities not just for himself but for his teammates. And I love how hard he plays. He gives you everything on every possession, both ends of the court. A little bit of a dribble drive pull-up game. I think early in his career played some small forward, some three, and so he's got some ball skills that are a little bit unique for a big guy. I think he's just fitting into the way we play in a good way and having a really positive impact, in a lot of different areas.
Marco, he's the oldest guy on a young team. How does he take into that role? Is there a role for there?
Yeah, no, I think I'd like for him to share his experience, whether it be from all his years in the NBA or his international experiences, but he's he kind of just, I think, does it a little bit on the sly, and he's not super vocal, but I think he's someone that we all respect, and I think he has good insight for young players. And it's funny just thinking about the film session today. Just when Marco is playing well and moving away from the ball, you just watch that, do what he does, and sometimes that's it takes years of experience to get the timing of cutting and when to cut and things like that. So, but there's no doubt he's been a good influence for us.
And then learning to win, what does that look like for this team as it continues to develop?
Yeah, it's hard to put into words. It's just making the little plays, all the things we talked about with your previous question. And I think they'll get there. Great.